Mark for round 6 of the Formula Ford Championship. The junior stars of tomorrow: James Courtney, the young Australian ex-karter, on pole position in the Works Van Diemen. The brand new machine out dragged at the start though by Adam Carroll, car number 28 from the outside of the front row of the grid. Third place, the other blue and yellow machine, and that is the Works driver Robert Dahlgren, the Swede. Well, a couple of men making an excursion, oh dear, and to add insult to injury, crashing into each other as they get back on. The 11 there, Michael Harfield, being knocked out of the race. Well, they didn't even make it round to the second corner. James Courtney doing the chasing then of the 28 machine of Adam Carroll. Looking for a tow there for the abandoned car. Carroll leading, Courtney in second place, Dahlgren in third. Very close behind them, leading the pack, the 3 machine, that's the red car of another Swede, Robin Rudholm. Courtney looking well poised in second place as they charge up the hill towards Druitt. He goes through on the inside, and so too does Dahlgren alongside Adam Carroll at Druitt. Oh, and contact! Carroll loses a left rear wheel and Dahlgren's off as well. So the second place battle all goes astray. Rudholm now in second place, but coming down the inside, all locked up. Anthony Davidson picks up a spot. Good driving by him. Excellent use of the brakes as they went into Lodge. So across the line at the end of the first lap, it's James Courtney, the pole position man, who leads. 2 red cars behind, 3 is Rudholm, 1 locking up there Davidson, and then behind Peter Gray in another blue Van Diemen. So the second and third fastest qualifiers taking themselves out of the race. Stefan Hodgetts in the black car moves past Peter Gray for 4th position. Let's have a look now again at that collision at Druitt. Well, just a little contact between the 2 wheels, and off they go. Adam Carroll on the inside, Robert Dahlgren trying to give him the room, but they still made contact. And Hodgetts again down the inside into the Knickerbrook chicane, up into 3rd place. His father Chris, a multiple British touring car champion, and Stefan's been racing from a very young age in karts. Little wave out of the cockpit there to say thanks very much for giving me room there to Anthony Davidson, who is now down in 4th place. No, it's not. In fact, Davidson and Rudholm have swapped places. Anthony Davidson in second in his Miguel. It's Rudholm in the number 3 machine that Stefan Hodgetts passed. So Van Diemen leads, car number 5 from Miguel, from Van Diemen, which is Hodgetts there, 29. The second Miguel, car number 3 in 4th place. And Stefan Hodgetts working his way well up the order. Well, qualified in 8th place, now in 3rd, and just this battle ahead of him, James Courtney versus Anthony Davidson, and Hodgetts right with them now. Well, Hodgetts also being caught by Mark Taylor, car number 13, and another Miguel. He started in 4th place, had a very bad getaway though. He's worked his way back up the order. He too has gone past Robin Rudholm. Rudholm on the back of that little group now in 5th spot. So Hodgetts back down to 4th. Look how much shorter he is, how much lower down in the chassis he is than the man ahead of him, Mark Taylor. Contact further back. And they look as though they survived that little group. Here is Taylor under pressure from Hodgetts once more. His dad, always a real jockey-sized single-seater driver, and clearly Stefan Hodgetts has inherited the family ability as well as the lack of height. Ahead of him though, car 13, Mark Taylor, racing in a machine run by Mike Fulmar Taylor. Fulmar Racing was Mike Taylor's long-term team. He used to run himself in Formula Ford in the early 80s. He's in strong 3rd place, having recovered from his fairly unimpressive getaway. And Hodgetts looking for a way to take back that 3rd position, but so far unable to find one. James Courtney keeping the race under control. He's got Anthony Davidson right with him in 2nd place. Taylor there in 3rd, Hodgetts in 4th, and this really is where all the interest lies with regard to podium places, because Robin Rudholm, although he's still just about in touch in the number 3 car in 5th place, is really too far away to have much of a shout. So too is Peter Gray in 6th position, and here we're battling for the other places. Alex Capadia looking for a gap in traffic to rejoin, but spins, oh dear, right in the path of Carl Lennon, and the Irish driver with his arms up in the air, entreating anybody to do something for him. A little bit too late though, Carl. Well, race leader now with Anthony Davidson under pressure from Mark Taylor behind. Taylor gets the job done even before they get to the braking area. Hodgett's in fourth, still ahead of Rudholm, then Gray. And the rest of them chasing. Robert Bell leading the chasing pack. There is the number 4 machine of Johan Fury behind him, the South African driver. Lennon rejoins, making the universal gesture of disapproval to his rival. Always a good move if you're going to jump into a gap in traffic to try and make sure that you keep going forwards as opposed to spinning again. Not always that easy. Taylor under pressure for this second place from Anthony Davidson, but Mark Taylor seems to be able to hold him off at the moment. Their battling, though, has allowed James Courtney to escape, and Courtney's going to have to do something substantially silly to hand this race away. Anthony Davidson, former world and European karter. Oh dear, and who's this? Just being avoided by everybody else, and only just as he skated down the grass. Hideki Muto. In comes Carl Lennon after this little incident. Chance to see it again. Now, so far okay, but whoops and oh dear. Carl Lennon really very disappointed there, obviously, but not much point in waving at anybody else. What are they going to do? It's happened. Still, young drivers with an awful lot to learn about everything in life. Taylor and Davidson, second and third, into the closing stages. James Courtney driving away from the rest of the field. James Courtney made his home in the UK 2 or 3 years ago, and a very good friend of compatriot Mark Webber, who started here in Formula Ford and then the British Formula 3 Championship, went on to race sports cars for Mercedes, and now of course in the International Formula 3000 Championship. And I'm sure that Webber giving James Courtney as much of a helping hand as he can as a fellow Aussie. Retirement there for the 38 machine of Danica Patrick, the American, and here comes Courtney. Now well over 4 seconds ahead of the field and aiming towards a 5-second margin in the Works Van Diemen. Clearly a very good prospect for the future is young James. And the Irishman Robbie Coleman spins his machine there at the hairpin. Gets going on the grass. Let's hope he rejoins safely. So Courtney romping away then from a rather intense battle still for second place. Mark Taylor holding on there in his Mégane from Anthony Davidson in the number 1 Mégane. But it's the Works Van Diemen driver, James Courtney, who'll win this one. Round 6 of the championship at Oulton Park goes to the Australian. And in the narrow dash to the line, Taylor from Davidson. They are the other podium finishers. So Van Diemen, Mégane. And then Hodgett, Rudholm and Gray, 2 more Van Diemens and 1 Mégane, honours even in the top 6. That's how they finished.